Hi, everyone. It's Jamie from Line Zero. And we've got a couple of questions today that I think have popped up a bit. And there are some, if maybe feedback or insights perhaps from the industry that may be helpful. The first, I think, is we've seen a dramatic shift perhaps in the common narrative around ChatGPT or AI or versus or replacing the metaverse. And has ChatGPT or AI replaced metaverse tech-wise? I think no is the direct answer, and I think that's basically fact. I do think that what advantage AI has over the metaverse and what specifically ChatGPT has done is it's provided a means by which people can very quickly visualize how AI is going to impact and improve their lives. And for the longest time, I know that AI is not new, but ChatGPT as the mechanism by which people interact with AI is new. And because it's basically made it so easy and efficient to do that, people are now beginning to grasp the reality, so to speak, of AI. The metaverse, for example, I think is equally as transformative a technology as AI. What it's missing at that moment is that ChatGPT interface that really sparks curiosity and sparks the imagination of people around how is this actually going to be implemented, or how is this going to be deployed in a way that's going to influence the way I work, influence the way I live. And I think that's might be why AI is leapfrogging the metaverse at the moment anyways, in terms of the common narrative. That will change. We'll have a moment where perhaps these two things will leapfrog each other. But at the same time, they're not necessarily related, right? AI and the metaverse, but they have an ability to significantly help each other. Again, I won't go so far as to call them symbiotic, but what I can tell you for sure is that the metaverse will benefit significantly from the advances that AI is taking. And there's two portions to that. So obviously we've got ChatGPT as a generative text-based, language-based model, which helps build language. And there are other elements of AI that are more around graphics, etc. One of the challenges of the metaverse, as you can imagine, is because you're taking a 3D and making it, a 2D space, making it 3D, it's harder to build out environments that feel rich, that feel like they belong. And I think that's something that the AI technology can really help with. So for example, if you're in an immersive world and you're going to go into a shopping mall that's in the metaverse, without AI, that shopping mall, because if you're going to create it, that shopping mall will eventually have an ending. Like you might run out of stores to do. But with AI, you could potentially, it could continue to build the mall or continue to build places to interact with. So that it kind of has no end. And that's the AI doing that real time inside of the metaverse, enriching that experience and creating what would be hard to do manually or hard to do intentionally ahead of time. You could even have the AI do it in the sense that it's responsive. So if the person's walking through the mall and touching this and touching that or doing this, the AI is going to recognize what that individual is interacting with and reshuffle the shape of the mall real time to show stuff that the user might be more in sync with in terms of what they want to interact with. But when it doesn't reshuffle, the AI will do it such that it doesn't feel like it's just jammed together. How do you make sure that the perception of reality isn't breaking and that people have the ability to just seamlessly walk in and see, oh, this is the design of the mall, and it's always been like this. So I think there are lots of, and I just picked the mall as an example, there are lots of different types of ways we can think about how AI may actually assist the metaverse. There are other things like avatars, a number of other things, even language, right? One of the things that AI has done is it's proven that the way that AI and ChatGPT works as a tool is it's a generative AI model, i.e. what it's doing is it's predicting the very next word you're going to use. So it's word by word building the chain of events. But what that means is, in theory, there's a mathematical equation to AI and to language. And that can then be applied to other areas of the metaverse. I think about how that's going to evolve into the cashiers of the future, so to speak. So rather than shipping to self-checkout, where I think we've seen examples of that with Amazon, where you just fill the bin, you go out. But how do you have someone that you can talk to when you need to and have that person be able to respond appropriately. So lots of really cool, exciting stuff there. Another question that pops up is, what's the future of AI in the metaverse and how is that going to evolve together? So I think there are many elements where these are on two separate paths, right? There's a lot of individuals and a lot of organizations that are investing in AI. There are also a large number of organizations and people that are investing in the metaverse, right? So AI, you've got people like Google, Microsoft, etc., that are leading the charge. In the metaverse, you've got people like Meta, even people like Apple, who are going to get into that space, and they're going to lead that charge there. And what we're going to start to see is linkages of these technologies that are beginning to overlap and influence how each other is developed and what the, almost like the life cycle of the technology is going to be. And that's going to continue to happen over the course of time. So then the question is, so what happens when you combine them? Or what happens when you integrate them? So integrating AI into metaverse and metaverse into AI. I think like most things with technology, there's a lot of capacity for good, and there's some capacity for introducing risk. So on the good side, I gave you a couple of examples how AI can help naturally build out environments, naturally create an enriching experience in a metaverse, even try to remove the element of being in a brand new environment that you're not physically in. Also, not even just the metaverse, what about mixed reality? When you've got an overlay over reality, again, it's going to have lots of value there. The risk that could pop up is, like many of those things, that could be used for negative. So how do we make sure that, like with everything that's AI, that bias, the data sets that's being used to build an AI doesn't have prejudice, for example? Because that prejudice can then become amplified if that prejudice becomes realized into a physical manifestation. So with pure AI and chatbots and ChatGPT, that bias or prejudice is just words. And not to diminish words, but words, because words are important, but that can become amplified because now we're taking the prejudice that exists in those words and putting shape to it. And so it's really important as we go down this path, these technologies together, that those types of biases are, the kinks in the armor are worked out so that we have again, as one example, a diverse environment, a diverse set of technology that does have multiple viewpoints in place and isn't anchored in one set of reality or with a certain set of perceptions involved. So all to say, I think it's a really exciting time. These two technologies are going to assist each other. They are going to accelerate each other's adoption. They are going to accelerate each other's usage and real world value. And then time will tell how all of this will play out.